How we getting on, folks? Look at Fairy House. Sort of, it was sort of hit and miss, to be perfectly honest. Few nice runners there now. There that particular day. Mount Leinster Gold, very impressive. Um, Obviously the likes of Lunar Display, Stansfield. Lunar Display was a non-runner, and Stansfield was very very unlucky. Um, Volcano was very lucky to win. Full time score very impressive at even money, and what was the last one? Fair Frontier was a non runner as well. So look at overall the fact that there was a few non runners in the field. I'm pretty happy with the way the day turned out. Basically, it turned out to be fairly okay and fairly, I suppose, profitable more so than anything else. Moving on to Thurles now tomorrow. Now Thurles is a little bit up in the air. We don't really know what's going on with it at the moment. I don't think there's anything too seriously bad, I suppose, in terms of weather wise tomorrow. The ground was supposed to be raceable, but inspections probably coming up now tomorrow morning. Um, I'm just basically going to give what I have at the moment. I'm actually not going to be using my patron tips, so we're going to be covering all the races tomorrow. Um, and look at realistically, I think it's a little bit up in the air whether it goes ahead tomorrow or not. I don't know, but the way that Irish racing has been cancelled for the rest of the week, you wouldn't be pinning your hopes on it too much. But look, so far so good. It's still on. I'm still going to cover it as best I can. Hopefully it does go ahead now, and hopefully there is a few winners because there's some very very nice horses running tomorrow. First of all, the 220 Standard Hunter Chase. This one we are going to be going with the Fox Hunters defending champion. It came to pass for Maxine and Eugene O'Sullivan. Currently priced in around 7 to 4. I don't think this horse needs any introduction. It was a very, very good winner in the Fox Hunters. More than likely going to be defending his crown now, say this year again. Obviously, look at it, it's very unfortunate for Maxine. She won't be able to ride him this year in Cheltenham, but she's taking the reins now tomorrow. She knows the horse very well. They put up a very good performance in Punchestown last time they ran. They had the likes of Billaway, Stand Up and Fight, and I can't remember who the other one was now, but there was another horse. I think it might have been Winged Leader in third that particular day, but we knew, say before the race, that Eugene O'Sullivan was sort of aiming it for, I suppose, not necessarily a fitness run, but just, I suppose, to shake up off the cobwebs from last March, which is understandable. Like a horse can't be fully race fit 24/7, 365 days of the year. And I just think, look at it, given, I suppose, the reputation it came to pass has, 7 to 4 is a great price. Realistically, I'd be hoping to see this horse go and win tomorrow. In preparation for, I suppose, defending his crown. And 7 to 4, it certainly seems to be a fairly nice price. It's a fair price. I wouldn't say it's the bargain of the day, but it's definitely there, well worth considering anyway. At 7 to 4. 250 then is going to be my nap of the day. This one here looks to be fairly straightforward for wait and see for John Ryan and Brian Cooper. Currently priced in around 10 to 11. It's a short enough price, but realistically, I was aiming this horse to be odds on. A grade 2, second or third last time out. Generally, this horse is very consistent. You normally see him finishing first, second, or third. The odd time you'd see him finishing fourth, but I can't remember the last time this horse was out of the top 4. To be perfectly honest, it's dropping down in class again here now, so it's going to be meeting competition that's fairly weak, and I would be confident enough to say that this horse is going to fairly well run away with it now tomorrow. A front runner will like Thurles. It's a hard one to know. I always think that the front runners appreciate Thurles best. But saying that as well, it's often it's often shown in a few races where there's a nice staying sort that comes there running late. Um, yeah, Thurles is a tricky enough track, but this wait and see should be able to put the nail to the sword and go from the front. Brian Cooper is definitely going to get a fairly good tune out of him. Uh, Standard bearer, everything else like that. I'd be very much disappointed to see this horse being beaten, and even to be even close to be beaten. To be perfectly honest with you, 11 to 10 is a very very nice price. 320 then. I'm going to be personally going with Epsilon Duchenne at 9 to 2. Was a very, very good winner over course and distance, I think it was last time out, when it was just ahead of the Chapel Field. Now, I heard a few whispers that the Chapel Field was ready to go about 20 minutes before the off. I wasn't really too confident in it because I can't remember who I was on, but it was 10 lengths in front of the Chapel Field the last day. I think it might have been shopping around actually. But shopping around put in a very, very much a stinker performance, and the Chapel Field very, very, very nearly got its head in front. But Epsilon Duchenne, very, very nice horse for Louise Lyons and Ryan Tracy here now. Look, it's a tricky enough race. It's a trappy affair. There's case to be made for 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 horses in this race. In terms of price wise, I can see a horse that's better priced than Epsilon Duchenne. Obviously, look at the winner last time out. Obviously in great form. As well as that, a winner around Thurles as well. That's always a good sign when you're looking for winners in this track, especially. Like, you need to have a horse that's gonna suit Thurles more so than anything else. And this Epsilon Duchenne was definitely a very, very nice price. Currently priced in around 9 to 2. Wouldn't necessarily go each way with this one. I think, well, look at providing it doesn't drift out. If it gets backed in, just stick with the win. If it drifts out anymore, definitely have a bit of a punt each way. But yeah, I wouldn't be going each way at 9 to 2 unless it's a quarter of the odds. It's certainly there. It's there with a fighting chance tomorrow, and it should be able to put in a very, very decent run. Yeah, it's going to be a tricky horse to beat, to be perfectly honest with you. 350 then is going to be my next best of the day, with Limestone Rock for Mouse Morris and Philip Enright currently priced in around 11 to 4. Now this one here, it's a very, very talented sort. It was a very, very nice winner in Naas when it beat a few decent sorts. It wasn't actually, no. It wasn't ahead of where on Eagle's Wings, because on Eagle's Wings I think might have been the race after, but it was a very, very good performance all the same. Front running tactics again, like I said. Really, really very good performance. I love to see a horse that's able to go from the front and attack fences and put the pressure on from the word go, and that's exactly what Philip Enright did. He's partnered up with him again tomorrow. I'd imagine that they're going to go hell for leather again. Will absolutely love the ground as well. There's no doubt about it. Will absolutely relish any rain that falls. I would struggle to see this horse being beaten, to be perfectly honest. I know I'm saying this for a couple of horses here, but it's great punting race, and I would admit, like, I think it's definitely a day that we're going to have a few winners anyway, at least, and certainly a day in profit. But I'd be surprised to see Limestone Rock being beaten, to be perfectly honest. It sets the standard, the clear form standard bearer, and realistically, Mouse Morris is starting to come into his own as well. Like, he's put up a few winners there now recently, put up some very nice horses there this season altogether, and Limestone Rock is definitely one of the more talented ones in the stable. 425 then, the next race of the day. Churchstone Warrior at 7 to 4 for Jonathan Sweeney and Dennis O'Regan. Realistically, this horse is the clear standard bearer in form. I know I'm probably sounding like a broken record here, but I honestly can't see past this horse. It was a very, very nice performance last time out. If I'm not mistaken, it was in Thurles as well. it was a bumper actually in Thurles when he went absolutely well clear of the field. Yeah, it was a very decent performance. They should have no problem going over hurdles. Then so Regan obviously takes the ride. He's gonna suit the horse down to the ground. His total style of riding is just keep calm, keep collected, and when the going gets tough, he's just basically gonna cruise up and just let the horse go. Hopefully, anyway, with the help of God. I'd look a right idiot if he doesn't, but I would be very much excited about this horse now. I seen the way it won in Thurles last time in the bumper, and yeah, it looks a very, very talented sort, and it's going to absolutely love the ground again tomorrow. 4:55 then. Again, another horse that looks very, very hard to beat. Fighting fit for the Dempsey team here with Anya O'Connor on board. This one here is currently priced in or around 9-4. Now look at this one here, was very, very impressive last time out, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a winner in Navan, if I'm correct. But Dempsey's horses are starting to come into their own again. Anya O'Connor, obviously, look at the fact that she's ridden a fair few winners now in her time, and she's coming near. I think she's coming near the end of her. I think it's a £5 claim or £3 claim, whatever she's on now. I'm not 100% sure, but she's definitely great value for it. I would be very excited to see this horse tomorrow. I think it's a sure thing, and realistically, 9-4 is definitely one of the best prices of the day. I really, really like this horse. I've seen it run a few times now. The way it won last time out was very, very impressive. I just think it's going to be a very, very tough horse to beat, and especially in this ground, especially this condition, with Anya O'Connor on board, I can honestly say that this horse is definitely going to be one, either first or second. It's as simple as that. I can't see this horse being even worse than second. If it is, I'd be very, very disappointed. Honestly, 9-4 looks to be a very, very nice price for him. Finally, then the 5:25, and this one here is going to be going with a team that you don't normally see. For Michael Grassick and Jamie Codd. Molly's Glory at 6-4. I know it's a short enough price, but the statistics say it all. You don't see Grassick going for Jamie Codd too often. Normally, when you do, it's a sure thing. It's a good thing. I don't know too much about this horse now, to be perfectly honest with you, but if the jockey pairing has anything got to do with it, I would be of strong consideration that this horse is going to be a very, very good sort. Breeding wise, definitely looks to be very impressive. Dennis Hogan has a horse in here. It's a funny old name. It begins with a P. I can't remember who it is, but Patrick Mullins is on board as well. That's definitely another interesting jockey booking as well. You don't not necessarily see Patrick getting on board Dennis Hogan's horses too much. I know the last time I can recall was the day in Naas when it was on the Hilltop horse, Wild Hunt, I think the name of it is, but that was a very poor performance. It was nearly too poor to be true. Look at that, has a chance as well. It's an open enough affair by the looks of things. It's just Jamie Codd has taken my eye from Michael Grassick. You don't necessarily see Jamie saddling up for Michael too often, and when he does, like I said, it's generally a good thing. But look at, that's all I have anyway for tomorrow. Look at, if racing goes ahead tomorrow, it's definitely going to be a great day's race, and hopefully it does. Hopefully it gets the green light. Like I said, I'd be wishful more so than hopeful now, to be quite honest with you. But look at, I'm going to leave it there anyway. If you're going to be having a bet, the very best of luck. And sure, look at, if it gets called off, the worst case scenario is we're going to get refunded anyway. So we're not going to be at a loss of any money anyway. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Every single subscriber that just takes them 2 seconds out of the time, it really benefits me and it really helps me out big time. I'm really trying to push for the 1,000 subscribers now. And look at, hopefully by June, I've set the target for June. I don't know whether it's realistic or not, but we're going to go for June anyway, and hopefully we'll be there in plenty of time. Um, I leave a link in the description below as well for Patreon if those might want to sign up. Just be wary as well, say for those who would be signing up for Patreon, that it's an automatic charge on the first day of every month. So if you want to hold off to maybe the 1st of March as well, please do that. I don't want to make people feel hard done by signing up late on in February and then just being automatically charged, because that's the way Patreon works. Um, that's something I just do not want people to be feeling. But look at, I leave the link in the description below if you want to sign up. It's greatly appreciated. Um, and look at, for those who are having a bet tomorrow, the very best of luck. Hopefully racing goes ahead, and hopefully we'll be on the back of plenty of winners. Thanks very much, folks.